notes.
Oh, look, we're recording.
Find your notes.
Baby shark. Sorry.
No, you can't sing that.
Yeah, you can.
That's copyright.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's advertisement for them, and they love it. Hello, welcome to Coffee with the Masons.
Welcome to
We
Coffee.
are the Masons. I have my coffee.
Wait.
Her coffee is way over there. She found it. Hey, welcome to January 9th, 2000 Roaring 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's going by fast. Seems like just yesterday I was
November.
taking my driver's test.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't you ever throw
I
that
did
Georgia
not
hat
mean to
again,
throw
woman.
it.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh, I'm calling a lawyer tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, so
Can I get that right?
yes. Anyway, like I was saying, welcome to Coffee with the Masons. It's been a while since we sat down and
Let us
actually,
speak in our loud, easy to hear voices because we still don't know how to edit worth a flip.
no,
Love
we
you.
don't. I don't. So, but I need to work on that, and maybe I'll work on that. Not right now, but anyway, we're going to get back into the swing of things in 2020. We're starting 2020 off the right way. We're going to
9 days after.
9 days. We're starting January 9th, 2020 off the right way with coffee, Jesus, and recovery talk.
Yep.
Since, that's what our channel is all about. Those in recovery, those who want to be in recovery, and the families that go through the pains with them. So, today's topic is
Appropriate.
managing anger. Anger is an emotion that leads many to relapse.
Ooh.
And it's more prevalent in those new to recovery. Because one, there are 3 steps of anger. There are, hold on, I got it written down because I take notes. There is, where'd I go? Irritation, anger,
Anger.
rage.
Rage. Irritation. Anger.
If
rage.
you can identify the emotion, remember we talked a couple months ago about identifying emotions and knowing that the emotion that you're identifying is the right emotion you're going through. If you can identify anger when it's in the irritation stage, you will save yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of yelling, a lot of arguing, a lot of trouble in general, and not let it get to the next step or either the third step, which is rage. Rage you don't want to get to. It is okay to experience anger. Like, we know that there are no bad emotions. There are only bad reactions to emotions. It's also okay to, when you recognize the anger emotion or the irritability, if you take a time out, take a break from reality, go for a walk, read a book, take a nap, chop some wood, play the Xbox, talk to your dog, talk to your cats, whatever it is you want to do. There are many different things you can do to take your mind off of anger, because anger is an emotion that is only meant to take place for a small amount of time.
Yeah.
It produces adrenaline, and we all know that an overdose of adrenaline is not good for your health. So, take breaks from reality. Often people get a sense of victimization. It accompanies anger. We as dumb humans, which I'm chief, we escalate anger to be the most important thing in our lives at that moment. For some reason, we think that whatever's making us angry, I've got to focus on that, and that could easily turn into something negative and turn into a relapse. So if you take a little break from reality, what we've learned to do, more me than her, and we actually practiced it one time, and it worked. If you walk away from the situation, let it de-escalate on its own, and then come back and 2 rational people discuss what the issue was,
It's effective communication.
you will never make it past the irritability stage. I promise you that. You won't lose sleep over it. You won't binge eat. You won't relapse. You won't go out and use it. I promise you, these steps do work. Have you ever asked yourself when you were angry, why do I get all the bad breaks? How come she doesn't understand me? How come he just doesn't do what I tell him to do? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? Have you ever, honey? Have you ever asked the question, why don't he just do what I tell him to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What was your answer?
I don't recall.
Mm-hmm. I've often asked you. I've even told you. You just don't understand me. But that's not quite the case. You probably understand me better than I understand myself. Yeah. But because I don't identify the emotion first before I ask myself the dumb question or either come at you with a dumb statement, I'm failing at that part of my recovery. And we both know that recovery is something you have to do every day. I mean, take alcoholism, for example. They call it alcoholism, not alcoholism. It's something you have to fight every single day. How do you recognize when you're angry? Does your behavior change? Do your physical actions change? Do you pace? Do you clench your jaw? Do you clench your fist? Do you just go quiet? Are you just
I go quiet.
on edge?
I go quiet.
These are all unhealthy reactions to anger. Do you hold it in and let it explode later? Do you, like I often do, react with sarcasm or passive aggressive behavior? Yes, I do. Yes, I have. Yes, I do. Yes, I probably will in the future because I'm dumb. I'm stupid. That's just bottom line. What positive ways can you cope with anger? You can talk to the person you're angry with. Talk to a counselor if you're in treatment. Talk to a sponsor, or if you have phone numbers, maybe somebody at church you can call. Talk about your anger in a support group. The support group I go to on Thursdays is awesome. Journal, and that's actually next on the list. You can write it down. You can, one of the things I did that actually helped me emotionally dealing with what happened to me as a child, write a letter. You don't have to send it to them. Just get it on paper. Let someone else read it. Someone close to you that knows the deepest, darkest. Let them read it. Let them throw it in the fire. You got it out of here. If you hold it in here, it's going to explode on the wrong person, and it's going to cause you so many physical issues and emotional issues down the road. And I know that to be a fact because it took me 48 years to come out and start dealing with the issue that happened to me when I was 4 years old. So you can exercise, or like we do, walk away. And
we've spent a year de-escalating.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we're still talking about stuff I did last November of 18. Mm-hmm. And we're probably going to do that for years to come. But the more we talk about, the more we get out in the open, the more we put behind us, is less we have to deal with going forward. And that helps us a lot. It actually brings us closer together as a couple because the more I'm comfortable talking about something that was very embarrassing as a child with the person that is closest to me, the more I am apt in the future to share even deeper and darker, if that be the case. So if you hold it in, you let it explode, it's going to be unhealthy for you and those around you. It's like a hand grenade. Once it goes off, not only is it going to make that hole in the dirt, the shrapnel's going to hit those around you. And that's very dangerous. So if anybody ever comes up to you and says, you ask them, how you doing? And they say, I'm fine. Don't believe them. They're not fine. I can't tell you what fine really stands for. I'll let you read it.
What's that? Oh, messed up with the F. Insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Yeah, that's about right.
That's about right. And so this is how anger could work in the real world. Let's say you have a favorite coffee cup. You wake up, you start your daily routine, you fill that coffee cup up with coffee. That is your daily routine. That's how you start your day. Let's say you get up and can't find the coffee cup because someone's done something with it, or maybe they took it with them. Doesn't happen to us because we got 58 coffee cups. But anyway, all right, so you got to change up your routine. You got to go with a different coffee cup. And on the way to work or wherever you're going, here we go. Cat's going to intervene. Anyway, on the way to work, you're in an accident, okay? That's something else you're attributing. That anger's just boiling over. You're attributing to that missing coffee cup. Then you get to work, okay? Let's say you need to go make copies, but the person before you just ran off 115 copies of something that...
You're out of toner.
You're out of toner, or there's only 2 pieces of paper in the printer and you need 10 copies. You're going to flip out about that. Okay, let's say someone's coming in to clean. They ask you, do you want me to dump your trash? Of course I want you to dump my trash. Why wouldn't I want you to dump my trash? Just get out. then you've let it explode on somebody that had nothing to do with your situation to start with.
That happened to me this week.
That's how anger works. It works as an avalanche. It starts at the top and it just comes down and covers everything in its path. So if you deal with it when there's still irritability and before it turns to anger, then you don't end up with everything under a blanketed avalanche at the end of your day. So, hope that's a little bit of help to you. And we are get angry. If you planning on living for the next 5 minutes or further, you're going to get angry. It's a very real emotion. It's a normal emotion. It is not a bad emotion. It's how you deal with it is what makes it good or bad. Hope these little tips I've given you help, and if you can apply them, I'm going to work on applying them to my life too, and we'll do this thing together. Maybe we'll wake up tomorrow. If a coffee cup's missing, we'll know how to handle it, and we'll have a different ending to a potentially bad day. So there you go.
I have something to say.
Let's go with it.
Recently, people from your past reached out to me and wanted you to talk to them. And the response that you asked me to respond back was send us a letter. I think when people are in recovery and they've been dealing with some deep, dark issues, or they're not in a place where, I mean, this goes for anybody, really, not just people in recovery, but if you are not in a place where you feel good about yourself or things are going well, you may not have the emotional energy to talk to them. I mean, that's why when I go to work and I see somebody struggling, I'm here if you want to talk, no pressure if you don't. And I keep walking. Like, I'm available, but I don't go in after it. People, if they're struggling, sometimes they just don't want to open up to certain people. And I had to shut down the conversation permanently because in typical selfish addict fashion, they wanted what they wanted, not what was good for you, is what I noticed. And I'm sorry, but that's selfish. And all this person thought was you were selfish. But I don't think you had the emotional energy or you had anything to give them. And if you're in a place where you can't shine the light of God, it's okay to take a step back.
Well,
let me finish. It's okay because we're not always in that place to shine God's light. We all struggle. And if you're in that place where you need to get yourself right before you expose yourself to the world, it's okay to take that time. It's not even a matter of faith. It's just okay to take that time to get yourself where emotionally, mentally, where you need to be, addiction or not. And then have that conversation later. That's how I feel about that.
No, it's Brandon.
Okay.
The reason I chose not to talk with this person, one, I knew how the conversation was going to go. I knew why they were reaching out to me, what they wanted. And the textbook definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. I knew there was not going to be a different result. I was not going to deal with that insanity. I wasn't going to let it weigh on my life because I'm in recovery. I'm working on me. So that's why I chose not to talk to them. I didn't want it to get back into the same old talk of days ago, you know? And sometimes you have to change people, places, and things when you're in recovery, and some of those people, it turns out, are going to be immediate family. So I love my family. I do. I would tell you right now, I love my brother with all the world, but I'm not going to let him affect my recovery.
I don't think you're in a place to talk to him right now. You haven't been. We've had issues going on behind the scenes that we don't drag every fight out on Facebook or on YouTube. And we're better now, but a week ago we were struggling. We struggled through the holidays.
We did struggle through the holidays, but by the grace of God, we made it.
I wouldn't say by the grace of God. I would say by God's insistence, or he'd beat us up both with a 2x4, because he ain't gonna tolerate this mismanagement.
Rub your nose in it and beat you with a rolled up newspaper.
You bet.
You're dang right. Dang right. But that way, that's today's recovery tip. I'm planning on bringing Big Thursday back, where we sit down and we have a good session on recovery. I'm back in my small group after the holidays, and I really love that group. I take a lot from it, and if I can share it with you guys, then I'm gonna keep doing it.
Also, I have to work one night shift a week for
Woohoo!
3 more weeks.
Okay.
And that, well, no, but it doesn't suit me at all. You want to talk about triggers for anger and
Nelly, let me tell you.
oof.
Let me tell you.
I wasn't handling it well, and I was
I
exhausted.
think we even put this on yesterday's video, but this woman was mad because she couldn't get into bed.
I have exhaustion, and it also came out that I resent what you've put me through. And while I've been trying to hold on to not hold on to them, but I've repressed a lot of emotions because there's no room for a whole lot of my emotion in your recovery at times.
We let it trickle in, though.
It trickle in. We're trying to trickle it in.
Trickle down recovery.
But you want to talk about 18 hours, no sleep, almost fell asleep coming home in the car, and I'm like, the window's down, it's 30 degrees outside, and I'm beating my face trying to stay awake.
It was so bad. The dog looked at me and said, "Dad, if you hold her down, I'll get the pillow."
Yeah, I was exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted.
I've never had the dog talk to me, but the dog spoke to me in English.
I couldn't get in the bed, and I lost my damn mind.
And you know me.
Oh my God, I showed my butt.
So before I share the Bible verse, I'm gonna give a little story about back in the day before I became the junkie that I was, me and a buddy of mine and my brother would go fishing. And one of the things we would do while we were fishing is we would take popular songs on the radio or songs that were popular just a few years before that, and we would start singing them, but we would change the words. And my brother was real good at it, but me and my other buddy, we were pretty good at it too sometimes. But I found myself here lately doing that more and more. And it's funny. It feels like that I'm slowly but surely getting back to my old self. So that makes me feel good about recovery and taking steps forward. And, I no longer regret having to wake up the next day because I got so much to live for. So there you go. Figured I'd share that with you. Honey, you got anything else to share?
Nope.
I'm going to read this here.
Pizza.
What?
I burnt the pizza.
You had one job.
No, unfortunately, I have about 16.
You had one job.
I have 16.
She burnt the pizza, so now I gotta eat burnt pizza.
You
Whoa, it's me. Whoa.
Bless it.
Whoa.
By the way, Aldi's $2 pizzas, pretty darn good.
$2.19.
I don't eat the pepperoni. We put all the pepperoni on one side, put extra sprinkled cheese over the whole thing. Life is good.
Life is good. Okay, so today we're going to read from Paul's letter to the Galatians. We are in chapter 3, verse number 11. It says, "But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of God, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith." Yeah.
So how does that apply to our lives and you looking for a job?
Well, let me tell you what happened yesterday before we cut this here short.
My pizza's already burnt.
I mean, yeah,
It's cooling off now.
I noticed the cat's not running there jumping, so it must be pretty bad. Anyway, we had a little heated debate yesterday where she's in her moment of neurotic behavior about, having to work the night shift, which she's not built for night shift. And I looked at her, and we prayed and give it to God about me finding a job. We'll find it on His time. I looked at her and had the audacity to say, out loud, I might add, "I ain't got time to wait 6 months for God. I got to go." So I left her and got about a mile up the road.
Now,
and
things have been rocky. Things have been rocky.
Yeah, they have, but I got about a mile up the road, and I had to pull over. I said, whoa, 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 did I just say that? I had to stop and pray on the side of the road. Tell God, look, I didn't mean that. She made me say it. The devil made me do it.
And he actually reached out to some people, and things sounded promising. We started getting excited. He went by the place to try and get his face attached to an online resume, and no one's called in 3 or 4 days. And I think that's part of the up and down. And he does have a new record.
Yeah, but you know what?
But it's in God's time.
It's one of those things that
You're alive.
I am alive and I will find a job. I'm not concerned about it. I do have certain talents that in warehouse environments can be used. I'll find a job, but I'm not going to find a job until it's the right job. It's the one that God's got. So I've eased off on it. I was out splitting wood when I got home from a small group. About to go out and deal with the birds. And
I'm just saying, but that's part of walking in faith
yes.
that you just read about in that scripture
Mm-hmm.
that is so important. It's
That, and I just did not want God to smite me.
you got to walk in faith. You got to
Yeah,
know
you
when
do.
God's going to put you where He wants you.
If you pray and ask God to make the move, make the decision, put you in the place to where you want to be, and then you start worrying about it, then why'd you even pray? You're calling God a liar. And we're not going to do that.
Nope.
So,
All right. Oh
think
my
we're
gosh.
in there?
21 minutes.
like, share, subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. There's a button for the like and comment.
We'll be back tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do a
probably.
video tomorrow.
Oh, what's your plan for your other channel?
Okay, so I'm excited about this. I have a channel where I just talk sports.
Sports history.
Mostly Georgia football. So what I'm going to do is, starting the month of February, I'm going to have some more videos between now and then, but February, Black History Month, I'm going to pay homage for every video I do is going to be
An outstanding
career of a Georgia football player of color.
Yep.
So,
Cheers.
yeah. Cheers. Love
I
it.
don't know if anyone's ever done that before. Have
Well, it's going to happen.
they? Yeah, don't
gonna
steal
happen.
our ideas.
God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Take care. Bye.